This is part 2 of our discussion with the Stevenson brothers, directly from an Ecuadorian prison. Again, today's guests are Reverend Conrad Tillard and Councilman Imam Alfred Mohammed. Follow along.
You're watching dcbornrob, erasing borders.
Exactly.
They add, yes, that's the same thing. And I'm glad that it came to my attention. And my children called me the Black Forrest Gump, and the reason being, they said, you know everybody from that, Muhammad, others, and that is a good thing that I will use all of my resources, all the people I know, to bring about justice for you all. You deserve justice. Reverend Conrad worked very diligently on behalf of the Central Park brothers, and we're going to bring that same energy. Another person just recently walked out of jail. I won't name that person, but I happen to have worked with people on his behalf. We're going to work hard, and you are in good spirit. I don't know where I would be if I were in that situation. God has really blessed me, and I give great credit to dcbornrob for bringing this to the attention. I mean, there are other bloggers that really should bring it to our audience. But I think what I'm saying, and this is the long and short of it, we have to be organized. I know sometimes when you're left out of the matrix, and by the way, I'm honored to know that you all are from the great country of Guyana, the Republic of Guyana. I happened to spend several hours with Walter Rodney. And Walter Rodney, I know Guyana. I've studied Guyana quite well.
He wrote some good books.
Yes,
and
sir.
Very intelligent scholar.
I studied him during my days as a academic. Great man, great man. So all of that spirit comes from those people. We're going to work to bring that to bear. I mean, fathers pray to have children like you all. I mean, really. I mean, they said the greatest mystery of being a parent is what comes out of a woman's womb. So we don't know which way they're going to turn out, but your parents have somebody to be proud of you all. And I'm proud as a father, and I'm proud as an African American who's been in the struggle to see you all the way you are. You're a really great example. We're going to turn this nightmare into a vision. And I'm saying the lesson here to people who are watching this program is this: you all, wherever you are, should remember that when the Chinese go to America, they remain Chinese. They remain an intact group. And I want you all to enjoy the culture, the adventure. But the implication for those who are watching is, wherever you are, I may be visiting some of your countries in there where you are, and telling you all to be organized as a group. And I'm glad that you have family that have resources.
Yeah.
And I plan to hope that your father and I can reach out. We can talk, and probably Reverend Conrad and I can meet with him, and we'll begin to plan some strategy. So
can I ask? Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
I just want a question. Some of the folks that what has the expat community, what has their response been? I know you said that for a long time you were not able to reach out to people. Are they familiar with what's going on? Are there wealthy, influential Americans in that country that might be contacted to be brought in to the process as well?
Through dcbornrob, just this past week, we were able to get in contact with the African-American expat group that is located here in Cuenca. We actually did not even know that existed prior to that. And they have offered as much help as we're willing to receive. So they presented us to a few lawyers. Right now, we've already shipped off our evidence packets to the lawyers they presented to us. And we're just waiting for them to see what can be done. They're also working on getting a petition and bringing light to our situation throughout the country.
One question. heard in the first earlier video you had a girlfriend. Are you still in contact with her? And if so, what has been her views since you have been incarcerated?
And is she from the U.S. or is she from Ecuador?
She's from Ecuador. She was actually arrested with us at the time because she was on my farm, and she was pregnant. So she was released after a month. She was pregnant with my daughter at the time. I have a 3-year-old daughter that's about to be 4 years old. And she moved from the city of Palor, where the incident and the situation played out. I told her it was better to get away from that area. I just didn't like the outlay of how everything worked out. So she moved out of that area, but I'm in contact with her every day. I talk to my daughter every day.
Okay.
Yes, the expat community there. I did a Zoom. I vet most of the, I guess, communications before it gets sent to the brother. And I had someone email me a few times, and just, I wasn't 100%, so I didn't want to send it to them. And they asked me to speak to him first also. And then when I finally did a Zoom and the picture started popping up, pop, it was a brother, it was a brother, it was a sister, it was another sister. I had no idea that that community was out there. And as the Imam said, we need this around the entire world, because the whole reason for my channel, the whole reason I started this is to encourage people to travel internationally. Right. It changes your perspective when you get out of your neighborhood and your city and your state. And 7 days ago, I was in El Salvador on a piece of property. You'll see the video soon where I said, I see why the brothers moved. I see why they moved. Look at this. I found my land. I know that feeling you have. And I've told you numerous times, stay in faith, just as these gentlemen have told you as well. Stay in faith. This is a temporary thing. I mean, this will pass.
Well, I certainly thank you. I'm going to have to get off now, but I wanted to just say, you know, DC Rob, justice stands afar off. And, you know, particularly when we live in a world where people are indifferent to the suffering of others. And the fact that you found out about this case and the fact that you have brought it to the attention of others, again, is a very, very noble and important fact. And, you know, the fact that God has used you to bring just a few at first to the knowledge of this case, as it snowballs and as it becomes an issue that more and more people find out about. We must also always be grateful to you for just caring and not only caring, but deciding that you would do something. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. And thank God that you just didn't hear about this and just say, that's interesting, or that's tragic. So God bless you, brothers. God bless you. Again, I'm grateful to Councilman Imam Alfred Mohammed for bringing me in. And I pledge to do everything I can to help bring this to the fore and put this in squarely before people who can actually make a change.
Thank you so much, Reverend Conrad. Really appreciate you, brother. Really appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Taking your time out to speak to us. Yes. Any concerns or questions that you may have, DC Rob, please put them in contact with our father. You can also have our contact to get in contact with us for anything. We're also going to put you guys' names, Reverend Conrad and Imam Mohammed. We're going to put your name down for the embassy for the Release Act, so you guys can have all access, all hands on to anything you guys need. Anything you guys need. It's available.
All right, my brother. All right.
Thank you, Reverend Conrad, for pulling time out of your busy day. I know I word the heaven out of you. I won't say what I did, but I just knew that with your platform and your concern.
Yes.
I mean, like, one thing about you and I speak of you, you know, they say preachers and pastors sometimes preach, sometimes they pastor, but I would say just like sheep, you smell like sheep. I can smell you through Zoom. You're concerned about people.
Yeah,
That's the
absolutely.
kind Dr. King
Yeah.
and Mr. Mohammed were. They were people who were concerned about people. I thank you for coming on.
Thank you. And thank you. And we'll be in touch soon. All right. Peace.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Conrad. I know that he has to go right now. I want to play before we leave, before I end my video, I want to play what we had discussed prior. Ronell and Roger, what you spoke about the situation, how you explained it to both the Imam and the Reverend. I'm going to play this at the end. But I wanted to say, Imam, thank you so much. We have discussed this at length. He has been my mentor over the past month or so, or 3 weeks, a month or so ago, when I first met him. I called him, or he called me the other day. He keeps in communication with me, guys, which is something that I need right now. I have so many things going on. But we also discussed, I had a question for him. I said, what does it take to start a PAC, a political action committee? We need resources to come together to have influence, because it's like something he told me, you know, okay, it's sometimes it's who you know, but then also what do you have to offer? Because if you want to get somebody to pick up the phone, who better than the person that you donated $6,000, $7,000 to or $10,000 to? They're more apt to pick up the phone. So we need to exhaust all avenues to do what we can and not just let this be status quo. We have to keep moving, and with the assistance of the Imam and Reverend and many others, as you've seen, there is concern. So we just need to spread the word even more. Imam, is there anything that you wanted to offer before we jumped off, and the brothers as well?
No, I do apologize somewhat, DC Rob, for bugging you every day and
No, sir.
I've got to, I said somewhat because, you know, once I pick up, I have so many other issues and concerns, but this has been one really at the top, excuse me, at the top of my concern list. I mean, I just haven't had it. And it has wider implications. And as I would say that African Americans may be dissatisfied here, or as one of our brothers called it, getting out of the matrix. I watch a lot of these channels, and some of them just focus on pleasure and chicas. I'm glad to see a serious brother in you, dcbornrob, talking about important issues, justice. Yes, it's important to explore. Yes, it's important to get a passport, but it's also important to keep a human concern. And we have to be aware that many people in the world see us as the most fortunate. I mean, and there is a great room for jealousy. So we have to be aware of that as well. We have to walk with confidence, but we have to walk with caution as we travel around the world. We're going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. So nobody going to just pick us off the street and not hear about it. But in fact, they'll be reluctant to hear about it. They'd be reluctant to take action against us. So brothers, stay strong as you are. You're all in good spirits. I'm proud of you. God bless you. God bless you, dcbornrob. I know you answer to all the names. Good morning, good evening, wherever you might be. dcbornrob is on the case, and God put him on the case to. And brothers, just thank you all so much. Don't be surprised if I come down to Ecuador to visit you all. It very well might be. We're going to work on some things. We're going to work for you. We will work with you. I have adopted you. You're on my. You're not on my income tax, but you're on my heart tax. So I'm going to work with you all.
Thank you.
Be in touch with you. We're going to do everything in our power. And I tell you something. I won't tell you. Well, I will tell you. The last Sunday this month, I'll be 74 years old. And I don't watch basketball. I don't watch. Yeah, I don't watch football. I don't have any sports team, but I love struggle and I love to win. And I intend to win with this case. This is it. Thank you. God bless you all again. And God bless you, dcbornrob.
Thank you so much.
No, God is on your side.
God bless.
Absolutely. Brothers, did you want to say something before we jump out, before I show this last video?
Thank you so much, Councilman Imam, for giving us your time. Rob, you did it again. Thank you so much. You're really helping our case. You're really getting people aware of our situation. I don't know how many times I can say thank you, but thank you. God bless you.
Hey.
Yes. God bless you, Rob. God bless you, Imam. God bless you, Conrad, Reverend Conrad that came in earlier today. And God bless all the people that's been sharing the videos, that have been calling the senators and the state representatives. Thank all you guys that have been sending emails of concern, worried about our well-being. Thank you all. Continue the prayers. God willing, this will not be too much longer. We'll be out of here soon. But continue to keep us in keep us in you guys' prayers, please. Thank you.
Absolutely. Again, thank you, Imam. Thank you, Roger, Ronell. Thank you for jumping on again. And thank you, Conrad, who had to jump out earlier. I'm going to play a video of what you spoke about earlier, just explaining the situation that you've had to go through. But we will end it right here. Thank you again, guys, for your time. And everybody stay safe when you're out there. Still travel, but travel safely. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for taking the time out to speak to us this morning. Our current situation is that we are falsely accused of murder for one person, which was our friend, and also worked on our farm. I also worked in our nightclub. His name is Hiru Samarenda, and his cousin, his name is Klinger. I can't remember his last name, sorry. But we're being detained for 34 years, 8 months. And so far we've done 4 years out of that sentence. The issue that we're having here is just a complete violation of our human rights. We haven't had due process in our case. Evidence that was presented wasn't tested, but it was used to paint a bad picture of us. For example, DNA. Before the trial started, in the news and in the media and the gossip of the town, that these two men were raped and murdered and assaulted. And then when they went to trial, they just said that they discovered semen, but they never tested it. They said they found DNA, but never tested it. They tried to say that we were manufacturing cocaine and selling firearms and possess firearms of police and military power. When they came to the farm, they only found about 2 ounces of marijuana, a revolver that didn't work, and an antique rifle that didn't work. So our situation is, it's Americans who do not have their rights protected in other countries. And secondly, Black men do not have their rights protected in other countries. So we are very low on the totem pole because within the 4 years, no one knows about our situation. It's only currently due to what is taking place in this country right now and within the prison and the coronavirus, that cell phones are being acceptable, that we are able to now put our voice out there and try to get some other help other than having legal help here. Because we've had over 6 lawyers. All these lawyers do is tell you to relax, take your time, be patient. The country is not like your country. They take our money and we're still in here. So at this point in time, we're at a point where we can have an appeal, but it's called a revision in this country. A revision means that you can open up the case from scratch. This is now, we are at a point where we are asking the country of Ecuador to start our case from scratch and allow the evidence that you guys use to try to convict us to be tested. The DNA, they had cell phone records that was never tested. So these are the things we're asking them to open up the trial, test these things, and also take into character witness of the victim's father, Stalin Samarenda, take into account that our prosecutor was an inadequate counsel, because at one point in time, in 2007, he was prosecuting the same gentleman, Stalin Samarendo. He was prosecuting him at one point in 2007. He did not let us know that prior to obtaining him as a lawyer. It's not until we obtain him as a lawyer, he comes out and tells us that, because we find out from within the prison. They say, hey man, that guy your lawyer is an ex-prosecutor, and most likely he might be washing hands with Stalin Samarendo, but we didn't believe it, because he said he's not corrupt. His father was an ex-judge and all of these things. So our lawyer listened to our audio tapes to our trial, and she heard everything that took place. And she says that, you know, we have a lot of things in our favor as far as inadequate counsel, the DNA, things weren't being rebutted, testimony was just hearsay, so many things that was in our favor. The only issue is the corruption here is so bad that even if evidence is presented to 110%, we could still get the same result. So what we're trying to do, or what we would like to happen, is to have the pressure that justice can be done, because they know that people are watching, people are concerned. They didn't see that the first time. They only seen our mother and our father in the courtroom. It's very difficult, as you can see, for a lot of Black people to get a passport and leave the country. So if this was in America, we wouldn't be in prison. But the way the legal process works here, there's too many loopholes. It's like playing with a tennis racket. It's so many holes in their system here.
They follow the same constitution as the American Constitution. They actually rewrit their law book
in 2014.
Their law book is this thick. It has all their codes. It's this thick. That is their law, and they rewrote it in 2014. And the issue here is they don't use juries. Everything is a 3-judge panel. So in the province where we had our case, there were only 8 judges, 8, and possibly only 5 were qualified for criminal cases, and 3 did like civil and were new to the grounds. So the main issue that we had was contamination. The same 3 judges that seen our drug case, because first off, that was the issue. The prosecutor that brought the charges against us, he charged us separately. He charged us separately for the guns, separately for the drugs, separately for the murder. So by him doing that, we're having different court dates for different things and winning each one. And at that time, when we won the gun case, it was only 1 judge. We won that, they changed the prosecutor. We go to the drug case. The drug case now has the 3 judges. We win the drug case on the first go. Change the prosecutor, right? On the murder case, it's the same 3 judges that seen our drug case, right? These same 3 judges in this country here, the prosecutor can also appeal a decision. Not only can you appeal a decision, the prosecutor appeals a decision. The prosecutor appeals the drug decision. The same 3 judges that seen our drug case is sitting on the panel for the appeal. Those same 3 judges said, okay, give him 8 years. Because and this appeal, you know, we're not even able to be present. It's just the lawyers. They give us 8 years. The same 3 judges that told us we're innocent at first, said that we're consumers of marijuana, now turn around and say that we got 8 years, right? These same 3 judges comes and does our murder trial. They give us 24 years. Our lawyer appeals the 24 years. When he does that, he puts in contamination of judges. We need to change judges so we can have a better appeal process.
Mm-hmm.
Why did he do that? He upsets the people. They deny his request. We have the appeal. It's the same 3 judges. They say 34 years, 8 months. They go up by 10 years and 8 months without any justification or anything. So we take the drug case. Now what happens is where we're located is considered the South, like Tennessee, Mississippi. So right now we are appealing the case for the drug case, and it goes to a Washington or New York. It goes up north. The drug case, they overturned the decision and said, why would you guys get 8 years? It's proven that you guys are consumers. You guys, they had a warrant to come and look for drug traffickers, manufacturers. That wasn't there. Boom, take off the 8 years. The murder case now comes up in New York, in the main city, and Quito, that's the capital of Ecuador. It comes up there. They tell our lawyer, they tell our family, they cannot be present in the courtroom because coronavirus is in effect. When we go onto the Zoom to watch our court case, only the victim's family is in the courtroom with the head judge, with their lawyer. In these appeal processes, the family lawyer is not supposed to speak. He was allowed to speak. Within 30 minutes, the judge came back and said, hey man, the decision was fine. Leave it at 34 years, 8 months. And that was it.
We have a YouTube channel, like it.
Please comment and share if you like the video. Please subscribe and kick the bell.